So The Man Who Watched Trains Go By is kind of one of these films with a kind of catchy title that doesn't really mean anything or have any significance to the real movie itself. I don't think, anyway. It's just a catchy title, I think. This has got an old kind of European cast, and I only recognise two people. And I recognise Claude Rains, who plays the main character, Keith Poppinga, a great name, and Herbert Lom, who plays his boss. And Herbert Lom plays, unsurprisingly, plays a villain in this film, doesn't he? Quite a lot of the time. But I didn't recognise anybody else in this film. It's mostly all European cast. Basically, this is a very kind of strange film. It's a simple story, but it's kind of an odd movie in many ways. Basically, Claude Rains plays this kind of quite conservative kind of bookkeeper living in Holland who kind of gets stuck in the rut, like in his lifestyle. It's a bit staid lifestyle, his job. He's been at this bookkeeping job for a long time, and he's living with his wife and two kids, and he's kind of getting in a rut. He basically doesn't know when his glass is half full. He thinks his glass is half empty, but it's really actually half full. But he's having a midlife crisis, basically, for want of a better word. And instead of just getting a leather jacket and going and buying a motorbike, like a lot of people do, or whatever, or I don't know what people do in a midlife crisis, he kind of goes on this mini crime spree, which is a real leap of faith for the viewer, because it doesn't make him a lot of sense logically what he's doing, and it doesn't kind of flow with the natural inclinations of his character. He's a very conservative kind of living 9 to 5 kind of guy, and he basically catches Herbert Lom, his boss, cooking the books and stealing money from the company, and he ends up, I'll skip parts of it, but he ends up with Herbert Lom's bag of money. And instead of handing it in or doing whatever you would normally do, he takes off with it to Paris to hook up with Herbert Lom's kind of criminal girlfriend. And he kind of takes on Herbert Lom's kind of personality, his kind of crooked personality. Like he flips the switch and becomes this kind of Bond villain, and starts going off with this crime spree in Paris. And it left me cold, this film, because I couldn't really get past that. It just didn't make sense. His character, this turn of events, especially with this character's kind of personality and motivations, and just his mannerisms, it doesn't suit that kind of flip the switch kind of change, and it doesn't really make any sense why he's doing this. I mean, okay, he's having a midlife crisis, but so what? A lot of people do, and they don't go on a crime spree. He's hotly pursued by this cop, and basically once he gets down to Paris, he tries to hook up with this Herbert Lom's girlfriend, crooked girlfriend, and she's not having it, and basically he tries to impress her by kind of upping the ante and becoming this kind of crime kingpin. He kind of literally his face changes and goes into this insane kind of Bond villain kind of grin, and starts kind of manning up and being this kind of real tough guy, which he doesn't pull it off. I mean, it just doesn't look right and doesn't feel right for his character. But lots of things don't feel right about this film. But it's the whole thing is sunk for me. The whole narrative of the film is sunk by his unexplained motivations and unexplained behaviour, and it doesn't work for me, that part. And it gets increasingly more silly and silly, his actions, and his motivations become more unclear, and where he's going with this doesn't make sense. He just goes up a little bit nuts, basically. I didn't understand this film's message, if there is a message, based on a book. I'll put the book title up there, because I can't remember the guy's name, George Simonons or something. Maybe the books make more sense of why he's doing this, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And it's shot in colour. It does look kind of nice, and the cast are okay in it, but it just gets increasingly more bizarre as it goes along. And I don't know what it's trying to tell you, what message it's trying to put across. Is like, go and do something crazy and wild before your life passes you by, or something, or I don't know. Or is it like is it like a warning? Don't go and do something crazy and become a gangster if you haven't got the personality to back it up. I don't know. It's a bizarre film anyway. It left me cold. I didn't enjoy it one bit. And I'm not the only one. I think checked it on Rotten Tomatoes, and it doesn't only get about 20% or something. So it's not. I'm not the only one that was left cold by it, I don't think. But I'm sure there's people that like it as well, obviously. But it looks nice, and it's got a decent cast. It's not a complete waste of time, but I just didn't like it. Didn't buy it for 1 second. The whole personality change. So that's The Man Who Watched Trains Go By, and yeah, not impressed one bit.